Is this the best admin pouch for the money? It can't be. What's going on, everybody? I'm back. It's Lamar, MF and Research. First of all, before we get into this thing, I just want to thank everybody for watching the last video. It's done way better than I expected, but keep checking it out. It's the Alpaca Hub pouch. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you want to see next. And without further ado, let's get into this thing. So, as I said before, I am looking for the best admin pouch for the money. I've got a couple of requirements. So, what I like to do when I'm shopping for something is I like to set parameters for myself and try to shop in that to keep me honest. So, I'm going to open the curtain a little bit and share with you guys what I do when I'm shopping for something new. So, here's what I'm looking for. First of all, it needs to hold my stuff, it needs to be rugged enough and waterproof, or at least some level of water resistance to stay all right in the elements or if it gets wet or anything like that. I need it to open flat. I'll talk about what I'm going to use it for next video, so be tuned in next week for that. It's got a little surprise. It's gonna be fun. I don't think I've ever seen anything on YouTube like it, so be sure to check that out next Sunday. I didn't want to do VanQuest or Maxpedition or anything because I mean they're great. They're great pouches and all, but I just wanted something a little different this time, something that you don't normally see, something that isn't all over the place. And most importantly for me is I want to keep it under $50. You can go crazy with some of these things, going $100 on up, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money, so that's okay. So since I don't have any sponsors and nobody's sending me anything, I'm going to take the house hunter approach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through the websites that I'm looking at for the pouches that I'm considering. What we'll do is we'll look at the specs, see what meets my needs, and we'll pick the top three. And then I'll have you guys guess in the comments. And then I'll show you the one that I picked. So without further ado, let's begin. All right, so first up, we're going to talk about the Alpaca utility pouch. I was going to look at the admin pouch too, but this one seems a little better for what I need, and we'll just keep it one per company. So let's look at some of the pictures. We've got it lays flat, like I said, it's all blacked out. It's got a unique opening and unique storage, so that's pretty cool. Here's an example of what they have. They use it like a sling. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but that's okay. And there's just more of what they've got going on. It looks like it's got some openings in the front. See the aqua guard zippers in the front, so that's a good thing. They help with that waterproof, and they got a phone there, so that should be good. So they got different colors. Let's talk about the colors and let's talk about some of the specs. So they've got black, they've got two different blacks and two different X packs. They've got a coyote brown, they've got a gray, and then they've got a green. Pretty cool colors. I like the green, but you can always stick with the black, and that's cool. The Alpaca pouch kind of reminds me of of a big hub pouch, really. And if you remember my last video, I really enjoyed the hub pouch. So that's pretty cool. I think the admin pouch is like $7 cheaper, but for the $7 more, I'd rather just get the bigger pouch and meet my needs, and I can grow into it if I need to. So I'm digging the X Pack. It's got the X Pack material, and like I said before, it's got the zipper pockets. They're zippered in the front, they're zippered in the back, and they appear to be segmented internally. So that's pretty cool. Got some zippers to keep some stuff sealed off from the other things if we need to. We talked about the colors. The dimensions are 7.8 by 4.7 by 1.7. So that's a pretty good thing. So far out of the ones that you'll see, it does happen to be the most expensive, and it is the smallest. So I don't know if those materials and all that stuff will justify the increase in price compared to some of the other ones that we're going to see coming up. Next up, we've got the Alpha 19er Surge Tech Pouch. This one's pretty basic, but we notice that it's X-Pack. I'm loving the hook and loop on the front. Put my patches there, buy some more patches to put out there. It's basically a basic portfolio style. So let's take a look at it a little closer. So we got the mesh on the back with a zipper pocket, so that can hold some stuff too. So that looks pretty good, and it looks like it might meet my needs. Let's look on the inside. It looks kind of similar to that VanQuest style approach of the webbing, and that's okay. But I was looking for something different. I do like the little slip pocket in the back. That's pretty cool. I like the hook and loop in the middle. I can Velcro something there if I want to. And I'm love the bright red interior. Something about a bright interior just makes things easier to see, and it makes them pop out. You can even see like that white in the picture. I really enjoy that. And that's what it looks like. It seems like it might work, but it does look a little plain for what I'm looking for. It only comes in one color, black, and it looks like the dimensions are 8 by 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. So it should be pretty good on the space, and it's about 45 bucks. So that's not bad. All right, this guy right here is the Power Packer by Side by Side. It's a very different profile from what we've seen so far. It's got a more narrow profile, but it's got a lot of stretch on the outside, so it looks like it'll give and flex to meet my needs. Let's go through some of the pictures and see what we've got. We've got looks like some. It almost looks like a small book, where the last one was like a portfolio. This is more of a book. So let's see what we got. So we got the different colors, more of the setup. So here's how it opens up. That looks pretty good. It's got a lot of organization, a couple slip pouches. You can fit different size items. That may work. It looks pretty cool. You see how it stretches. It looks to fit. That's pretty cool. It fits the lens for a camera. So it looks like it's got pretty good space, and I like that. So this one, where the last one was more of a portfolio, this is more of a book. So that's pretty cool. So looking at it, it looks like it comes in four colors: the shadow, Bordeaux, which is the wine color, denim and camo. So that's pretty cool. Gives a little pop of color in there. So nothing wrong with that versus just a solid color. So that's cool if you like that kind of thing. And now, like I said before, it's a little narrow. So let's look at some of the dimensions. So on this one, it's 10.25 by 3.55 by 1.6. So that means it's going to be long and kind of narrow, but that flexibility in the material should give us a lot of room to do what we need to do and make any changes and add anything we want to add. A couple things I will point out is I don't know if I'm going to like that opening of a book type style. I do like the lay flat, but I do just want everything open in front of me when I get to it. So that's something I'm going to have to think about. And it's about 40 bucks right now too, so that's a good price. And I've seen it on Amazon a ton of times on sale. So that's pretty cool too. So that price might be a factor too if it's not my favorite pick. So let's go on and see what's next. All right, so this guy is the Herschel Tech Organizer. It's right at $45, so it's right there in line with price with the Surge Tech Pouch. It comes in two different colors, two different blacks, one being Cordura and then the other one being gray. So let's take a look at some of the pictures and see what it looks like. All right, so basic black on the outside. Now let's look on the inside. It's got a little bit of webbing. It's got some pockets on the outside. It's got a zip pocket. Let's go back to that and see if we saw any. Yeah, it looks like it might have a pocket on the back. So let's see. Let's see what it looks like loaded out. So it looks like you've got the mesh in there. You've got a couple layers of pockets along with a little bit of webbing. I would like a little bit more webbing. They do have that webbing up top for the pencil or the pen, and that's cool. It looks like you can kind of make it your own, but I don't know if it has enough organization and storage for me. Let's see if there's a couple more pictures out there. Nope, that's about it. So like I said, and I think I saw somewhere in the pictures the black Cordura version is all blacked out. Like I said before, I do like the high vis versions on the inside, so you can see everything and everything just pops out right there. But it's not necessary. But it'd be nice to see. All right, so this one on the dimensions, you've got 9 1/4 by 6.3 by 2.15. So it's right in line with those other ones, a little bit on the tall side, but it's still pretty similar in those dimensions. And it's right at about 45 bucks. So still right in line. All right, so this one isn't popular at all. I've only seen it in a handful of places. It's the 0 Hour EDC pouch. It comes in looks like three or four colors. It comes in this green, it comes in a brown, and it comes in a gray, and I think there's a black color. What makes this guy unique is that it expands. So that's kind of cool. We'll talk about it a little bit and then we'll take the picture. So one of the things it's similar to the VanQuest or the Maxpedition in a lot of ways, but it's something that you don't see every day. You don't see the ones that are expandable like a backpack, and it's $34.99. So it's cheaper than the other ones. I actually remember when I first saw it, it was $29.99. So it's gone up a little bit, but it's still right there in line in price. So let's take a look and see what it looks like. That's what it looks like normal in the front. Here's a good picture to see what it looks like expanded. I don't think the expansion is going to be necessary for me. I think what'll end up happening if I expand it, I'll end up using more space than I need and just throwing crap in there. If you have too much space, you'll end up going to waste it. So it might not be as efficient. Here's coming some of the breakdown. They got the grid style straps. So we'll talk about that in a minute. That's pretty cool. I do like that. And again, because it's 500D, it's pretty water resistant and it's got the Molly paneling on the back. So that's cool. So you can hook it to your Molly, kind of like the one that I threw at the beginning. So here's what it looks like on the inside. That right there, it's kind of the cocoon. I think it's called gridded. I've got a little panel in the house of one of those. And that's kind of one side versus just the pouches on one side. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of fix your organization however you want. And I do like that approach. That gives me a lot of flexibility and I can make a lot of decisions. It looks like it has one pocket on the back where the notebook is, if you see it, and then it's got some webbing. So one thing it does miss is some of the pockets. I wish it had a little more of that, but I'm really digging the webbing on the side. That's really cool. And you see the different ways that it's kind of organized. So you got one set up that way, one set up this way with your more EDC. You got your tools, you got another one with your tools. And I do like that. That's a good approach. And then that's just the other colors. And those are the other colors. So it's traditional tactical style colors, nothing out of the ordinary, no Bordeaux or denim or anything like that. So just your basic colors. So colors, I don't really care about. It's going to be in a bag or it's going to be sitting on a table somewhere. So that's no big deal. So, but it does look pretty good. So now let's talk about the dimensions a little bit. So a 7.5 by 5 normally with the 1.5 inch depth. And what happens when it expands, it doubles. So it's 3 inches. So that makes it the biggest pouch in terms of organization. And that's pretty cool. I am digging that. So we'll see what goes on with that. So another thing, that price is really good, and I'm really liking those VanQuest style zipper pulls. That'll make getting in there, even with a glove when it's cold, pretty easy to mess around with. So I do like that. So it's got some pluses, even and that price. You can't beat that price. I'm digging that price. So this one's kind of cheating a little bit. This is the Viper A VE12. Where the other ones open more portfolio or book style, this opens more like a garment bag or something like that. So it's kind of like a trifold, so it folds kind of like a folder or something like that. And that's pretty interesting. It's pretty unique. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I do like how it looks. I like the pouches and on the inside. I like the different webbing and all that good stuff. But I don't know because I want it to be water resistant. So some water looks like it might seep in through the side. There's no zippers or Velcro or anything to zip that up. It's got the pals or Molly webbing on the front, and that's cool. You can clip stuff to it. I won't do a bunch of that on the outside, but that's cool. I like it to be kind of low drag on the outside, and let's keep it that way. It's got the spot for morale patches. I think I'm liking that idea of having a morale patch or two on here, just to give it a little bit of flavor and flair like that. So I always like when something adds the hook and loop panels on it. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, here's just a breakdown of some of the features. You've got the plain black, and then you've got the multicam, and that's cool. I like multicam. That's not a bad choice. Let's look at the dimensions. Looking at it, it's a little bit different because of how it opens. So the measurements aren't exactly the same. So they've got the measurements of when it's open versus when it's closed. It looks like it's going to be 6.5 inches high by 5.4 inches wide. And then it opens to about 16.7 inches when it's all the way open. So as far as space, while it seems a little different in terms of layout from everything else, it's still going to be comparable and give us enough space for everything that we need to put in there, I think. But the biggest drawback on this guy is it doesn't have any zippers or any way to waterproof seal it. So some of those pockets or anything like that, you run the risk of some of your stuff getting wet if it's out in the elements, or you might even run the risk of it falling out if it's in there wrong. So I don't know how I feel about that, but it is pretty cool and it's a little different from everything else. So kind of a curveball pick. So we'll look at this one. It's sold out on here, but you can find it on Amazon. Sometimes the price is over $50, so I wasn't even sure if I was going to include it, but I figured why not. So it's the Incase nylon accessory organizer. It comes in black or it comes in blue. Let's take a look at some of the pictures. So that's what it kind of looks out. It's real basic. It looks similar to the Herschel in a lot of ways. One difference on the side is it's got a slip pocket, and then behind that, it's got a zip pocket and then a pen. So that's a different style of organization. I do like the way that that's able to seal up. That's pretty cool. It's got a couple slots in the middle for your charging bricks. Don't really need that, but it's good to have. I can probably fit something in that space, so that's okay. And then it's got spots for your wires. It's got a couple mesh panels. That's cool. It's all black. Normally I like that, but I would like a little bit of pop of color in there to kind of see what's going on. So that's what it looks like on the side. Take it more. So nice and basic. Dimensions are right in line, 6 by 2 by 9.5. So all of them are in that same kind of wheelhouse. So that's pretty cool. I think the space is pretty good. I don't think it's too big or too small compared to the other one. So I think it'll still work. It's just basic, not good or not bad, just kind of middle of the road. It's one of those where if the price is right, it'll be good. But if the price is over $50, like I have seen it sometimes, I don't think it's worth that. You'll be better suited with some of the other ones. Before I give you my top three and then my final pick, I want to give you a couple honorable mentions too. They're perfect. The only thing that messes them up, in my opinion, is the fact that they're over my $50 price point. If I up the budget a little bit, they would definitely be in here. They'd probably be the one I get. Might even get it in the future for something else, but for now, they're going to stay off my list. And that's the Nutsack Admin Pouch. I know that's really the name, but it's a cool pouch. They use a lot of wax canvas and stuff like that. It's got good organization. It's real basic. It's just an admin pouch, and it fits in some of their other accessories as well. And that's pretty cool. You got the Defy the Void. That's a cool one too. It's got a little leather on the front. I think it's Horween leather, if I'm not mistaken, and that just looks great. I'm in love when that's going to patina. And I've been wanting to buy that pouch or get an excuse to buy that pouch for a while now, but maybe I will in the future. But for right now, it's out of the budget that I set for this, so it'll have to stay on my wish list for later. And lastly, if you want to spend a little bit more money, you've got the Track Lagan Pro accessory organizer. It comes in about 4 different colors. The thing is, though, it's almost doubled my price range for this particular time. So I didn't want to spend the money on it for that. It's cool though. It looks like it's well built. Looks like it's canvas. Looks like it's rugged. Looks like it's got good weather resistance. And I've been looking to buy something from Track for a long time. But eventually I'll get there. But this isn't going to be the day. And if I'm going to get a pouch that's outside of my budget, I think I'd go with the Defy Void first. That one just looks cool and that kind of speaks to me. So that would be my pick. If I had to put the honorable mentions in order, it'd be the Defy by the Nutsack and then the Lagan. You guys can take what you will with that. Let me know what you think. So now that we got all that out the way, let's give you my top 3 choices before I give you my selection. All right, so in no particular order, the first one I'll talk about is going to be the Hour EDC. I love the grids and I love the expandability of it and the price. Those 3 factors put it really high up on my list. Even though it doesn't meet my needs as far as looking like a VanQuest or looking too tactical or something like that, it's still a good bang for the buck. So next up is the Alpaca utility pouch. I've already had experience with Alpaca with my HUD pouch in the past. I'm confident in their build quality and all that good stuff. I really like what they're doing. The only thing is that unique storage might work against me. I'm not sure if that'll exactly fit what I need. I'm digging the different colors. I like that it's an X pack. There's just a lot going on for it. Finally, the last honorable mention that I'll talk about is the Alpha 19er Surge Tech Pouch. It just looks solid. It's got a simple opening. It's sealed up tight. It's X pack. It looks like it's good build. I've heard great things about all their bags. I'm sure the pouches are going to be the same way. It gets me in that ecosystem. I'm looking at some of their other stuff in the future, so that might give me a low cost way to get in there. And that red interior, I'm just digging that. That's pretty cool. So now I give you a few seconds. Write in the comments. Tell me which one you picked. All right, everybody. In true house hunter, I think we'll call this gear hunter from now on. So, in true gear hunter style, we've got the Alpaca utility pouch. Look at that. I'm not going to open it up right now because it is already packed out how I want it. You'll have to tune in next week to see what's in there. You saw what it looks like empty, so I won't show that again. But so far so good. Next week I'll tell you about how I loaded it out and I'll give a brief review of it. Now that you've got my pick, tell me in the comments what your pick is. Don't forget, once you do that, like and then subscribe. I've got 8 whole subscribers right now, which is dope, and we're going to be getting more in the future. I'm excited about that. So with that, like I always say, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Check out some of those future videos. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I should review next, and we'll talk to you guys later.